Hello, everybody. It is August 22nd, 2019. This is the third try on this video. I was wondering, well, maybe the Lord doesn't want me to do this, but I'm still going to try again and possibly just make it shorter. This may not apply to anybody, but I felt like I needed to say something about it a little bit. Those of us that proclaim the gospel of grace, which is really the only gospel, because there's no such thing as the gospel of law. That is a contradiction of terms. And contending for the gospel of grace, which is very important because there's so much out there that is a false gospel. But I wanted to, caution us to be aware of true brothers and sisters in the Lord who struggle with legalism, and to and I know that probably all of us, maybe to a certain extent, maybe some of us still struggle with some of that. That we're taught from the very time we're born, growing up. If you're a good girl, you get this. If you're a bad girl, then this happens, or bad girl, bad boy, And it is just something to train us. I mean, really, honestly, the law is given to train. And it is a big shift in thinking when you realize that all has been paid for and there's absolutely nothing you can bring to the table, that Jesus has done it all. And I want to make it clear that, it is by grace that we're saved through faith, and that not of ourselves. It is a gift. A gift is not something you don't pay for a gift. It's not something you buy. A gift is a gift is a gift. It's not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us by the washing of regeneration and renewing of the Holy Ghost. It is by his Spirit. We are made a new creature. We don't have, this is one thing I want to say too, is that we don't have two natures. We have the flesh and we have the new nature. That is us. The flesh is what we're fighting against, not the old man. The old man is dead. He's gone. It's the flesh that we have to deal with, and the devil and, the world and all that. But for those brothers and sisters who still, they may feel under condemnation because they may feel, I don't know whether I've put my full trust in Jesus. I really want to, but I still have these tendencies, I still think I have, you have these temptations in legalism, just like you have temptations in anything, in any sin. And, Paul, who was, he didn't waste any words, and he was not patient with those who were preaching a false gospel of works and the law. But he also dealt gently with those who, as he called them, weak in the faith. They were in the faith, but they had, they were weak in conscience. They had very tender consciences, and they felt like, they couldn't eat this or drink that, or they had to, they just had these issues they had to deal with. And he tells us in Romans 14, the whole chapter is about this. But he talks about one person believes he may eat anything, while the weak person eats only vegetables. Let not the one who eats despise the one who abstains, and let not the one who abstains pass judgment on the one who eats. So you've got, we are susceptible to both sides of, of the flesh. And, we can point fingers at each other either way. And this may not apply to anybody, but I did feel like that for the sake of those who, they're the weaker brother, they struggle with these issues because they're so ingrained in us. All of us have had this. It's so ingrained in us to want to please, to want to do, to, and this this shift of realizing that Jesus has paid it all, that is a big deal. It really is. And it says here that, are you to pass judgment on the servant of another? It is before his own master that he stands or falls, and he will be upheld, for the Lord is able to make him stand. For none of us lives to himself, and none of us dies to himself. For if we live to the Lord, and if we die to the Lord. One person may do one thing, and one person may do another, and their motive is because they want to honor the Lord. And the Lord knows. He knows that even if we're doing it maybe because we feel an obligation or whatever, he knows as his child that we are wanting to please him. And he knows the motives of our heart, even if we're not doing it perfectly. And that's true across the board, because Jesus is the only one who's done it perfectly, and he's the one that stands in for us. So I just wanted to bring that out today for the sake of those who may be struggling and maybe having I know it sounds kind of strange, but the enemy can bring all kinds of condemnation for any reason. And I want those of you who may be weak in your faith, you're struggling, I want you to know that Jesus receives you. Run to him. Come to him. In all the stuff, just bring all the junk. All the doubt, all the fear, all the worry, as well as just everything you are to him. And he receives you. Be blessed, brothers and sisters, and have a great day.